Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play the Dark mod. In the last episode, we eventually made our way into Lady Harrington's. We are here to steal her Amulet of Dreams that she has somewhere. And I'm guessing it's in the exhibit room. We have the exhibit room key stolen from her bedchambers. We've explored some of the upper floor. We have the entirety of the ground floor to still explore. We visited the open air market as well. Explored a few other homes in the surrounding area. And we currently have the following things. Let's see. We still have our single flash bomb, 790 worth of wealth, the exhibit room key, a pouch of drugs, which we found in a off to the side in one of the market stalls. We are, I believe, supposed to drop this off to Rusty Roy, the beggar we saw outside the Smiling Boar Inn in an alleyway. A health potion as well. For our arrows, we have 17 broadheads, 8 water, 3 moss, and 1 noisemaker. Alright, let's keep searching. Garden. Maybe we can get lucky enough to find some water or moss arrows out here. Right, we read about Gaia gardening, which was the old way that pagans did this sort of thing. Before they were ushered, I guess... Well, not ushered out of the city. They don't live in the city. Or I suppose they do so grudgingly. Lady Harrington is not a fan of the Hammerites, and is resisting them, glad as well that they're not here, in this section of the city. I didn't think the Hammerites themselves minded gardening very much, or having them. I remember them discussing greens and meats at one point. Compost pile, I suspect. Some golden daggers strewn about. We're almost to 2/3 of the amount of loot that we need. '18th of May. The madam seems intent on following the pagan tradition of growing, and I must say it seems to be working wonders. I laid down the leaves on the root vegetable bed last fall, and the first harvest have been succulent, sweet, and unblemished by pests. I still don't believe that it will continue without rotating our crops, but that remains to be seen. I'm thankful, though, since it has been a load off my back not having to turn the soil. We can't get horses into the garden due to the city walls, so that had to be done by the sweat of my brow before. I can definitely support this idea of disturbing the ground as little as possible. Interestingly, it seems the covering of dead leaves and the creepy crawlies living in the soil are able to keep it soft, supple, and moist no matter the weather. It's a joy to pull out carrots without having to brace and strain my back. Speaking of which, I have to get that shiny rock looked at that I found buried in the bed. I hid it in the larder for safekeeping for now. Maybe somebody at the bank across the street will know what it's worth. It is possible that it's part of the decorative knife that the madam uses for pruning in the glass house, I suppose. But if it wasn't doing anyone any good... But if it is... Wait. But if it is, it wasn't doing anyone any good buried in the vegetables bed, so I doubt the madam will miss it. 19th of May. That new glass house is a marvel to behold. It's great to let the beans climb the walls, and we are now able to grow crops that wouldn't survive our climate. The madam also said we can grow our root vegetables through the winter under this cover. A marvelous idea. I sometimes wonder why she employs me at all. Most of the time I feel more like the apprentice than the master. I suppose that her duties don't allow her the time to deal with such mundane tasks. It's probably under the cauldron, but he can keep his gold stone. At least at the moment he can. We're not allowed up on that roof.
Oh dear.
Kitchen.
My. What was that? Please.
Oh! Oh, good. Sorry. Sorry, it took 2 hits. Millie Winston, I'm so sorry. You'll be okay. I hope. Actually, someone told me how awful being blackjacked would be, and you'd only normally be blackjacked for like a few minutes, if that, assuming it didn't kill you, and or likely resulted in brain damage. So it's just as awful to blackjack people as arguably it would be to, well, I guess not to kill them or stab them, but it could be, well, I don't know, it could be just as terrible. So hopefully she'll be all right. I like to imagine we're using magical blackjacks in this game series that only knocks people out pleasantly. One second. I'm going to try, and I apologize for this, but I'm going to try to raise the volume on the off chance this lets me hear footsteps a bit better. Justice meted out in the courts of Bridgeport. Yesterday, 7 men and 1 woman, malefactors, were executed at Newbridge. One of the men was old and so very feeble that he was carried upon a man's back out of the condemned hole and put into the cart. About 6 other condemned criminals lie so ill in the dungeon in Newbridge Gate that it is believed they can hardly live to the time of execution. The deputy recorder has not yet made his report, but it is expected he will do so tomorrow, and the execution will be some day next week. Grand opening of antiques display in Clifton Grove. Madame Harrington's luxurious events, with her fine collection of antiques, exquisite gastronomical delights accompanied by fine music, are truly a joy to the senses. Reserved strictly for the upper crust of Bridgeport, it is not for the frugal-minded. However, those who do decide to go are guaranteed a night to remember. Inquire at the Bridgeport Review or in person in Clifton Grove. Lord Cobble and wife, paid in full. Lord Hotland, paid in full. Lord Campbell, prepaid ticket. Lady Ludmolia, paid in full. Lord Balakin and wife, prepaid ticket. Lord Remington and wife, paid in full. Lord Cummins, not coming. Deposit void. Lord Parlow, paid in full. Lord Grayton, prepaid ticket. Maybe it's Lord Cummins who is deciding that the good lady should have her things taken. That's the key to the front door there. I guess we should unlock it. Actually, if I unlock it, guards may decide to patrol out of it. So I'll leave it locked. I have no intention of going out through the main gate. Oh, we need a key for that door. This is going to be a bit dangerous here, everyone. But I think this guy was carrying a key. This may be the gentleman who we need to take the key from and deliver it to Victor's Victuals.
Is that something over there?
Steward's room key. Mansion safe key. Lost and found items are temporarily stored in the safe in the foyer. Key is in safe behind the portrait of my dear Edith. 1 golden hairbrush. Lady Philcott, maybe? Follow up. 1 purse of mixed jewels. No one claimed yet. Lord Cochrane reports missing an emerald ring from a visit last week, most likely in the ballroom. Properly search in the morning. Running errands for May. Administration tickets, 600 gold. Pay at door, 500 gold. Cost of food and wine, minus 300 gold. This may be the office we read about where the gentleman's checking under his desk. there is something there. But I think he may return. Although I don't hear him. Percival's secret journal. Where does Cordelia keep her codes for the podiums? Dumb hag like her couldn't possibly trust herself to always remember. I've only managed to figure out the plate is 599. As the year, if I can only get access to more of the items, I could have enough to retire in the countryside with my dear Edith and be done with this filthy town. I might have to go to Brooksdale to pawn off the items, but it would be worth the risk. So far, I've only figured out that the portrait of Duncan in the downstairs foyer is somehow connected.
It was a brief flame.
I was able to look behind it the other day, but couldn't see anything scribbled on the back. There seems to be an odd cut in the wallpaper back there, though. Maybe it's a secret door. The picture of the church at the bottom of the stairs has the same thing. I'll have to investigate further when there are fewer prying eyes around. In the meantime, I'll have to keep up the facade. That objective is to leave that journal in Lady Harrington's room, since it will pin the activities. Even if we're detected, maybe Percival was able to hire us, for example. I don't quite understand how he's able to open and lock the door without the key. One second as well, everyone. Sorry about the sudden cut here. Well, actually, it's not a cut. I'm still recording. Find the foyer key. Okay, so it's not the key actually on his belt that we needed. It is the key on that desk that we want. Unfortunately, we need all the money from that. Doesn't matter whose it is. We still need another 359 gold.
There are those who are afraid of greatness.
I'd like to put this key, the mansion key, back in his room, if I can. Let's check some of these portraits and see if we can maybe find a way to access whatever secret doors might be behind them. There were several portraits upstairs. And down here as well. storage note. The Pardon of Witch Livia by Sir Hale. Brexinoth, Elder Sorcerer of the fabled Arcane Order. The Warlord Nicostratus upon conquering the throne of Arcadia. The Lucky Horseshoe of Nicaris. Amulet of Dreams, on display, code 743. The Death Mask of Rosef II. The Crown of Tyranny, now on display, code 357. Okay, I wrote them down. Ooh, beautiful scepter. Since we have the codes, we should aim to complete our task now. Get up there and get the amulet before we decide if we even want to explore more of this place. I forgot we put this guy in here. At least he's still peacefully locked out. I don't know what room the lady is in currently, and we'll want to leave the secret journal in Lady Harrington's room, which will be easier if she's not in it. I heard the clack of her footsteps on the tile. Two statues on the mantle there look suspicious to me. Almost as if maybe twisting one of them would open that up. I want to make sure there's no guard, though, that wanders around here. The map, if I recall... yeah, has the gallery and dining room to the south of this, that way to the left, which would tell me that there's probably a guard in this area. Could have been the guy we knocked out, though. He did open the door here. Maybe we are safe. I thought I heard a door open. Wow. No knocking him out. Not with that helmet and armor on. He has a gold key, which means he can also probably enter the exhibit room. We learned from the steward that taking keys doesn't stop people from being able to enter the rooms those keys were for, even if we lock them again. So we don't need to take the key from his belt. We could use a noisemaker to distract him for a bit. But I think he might stay on alert after that is done. Remember that we're not allowed to kill either in this mod at the in this map on the difficulty we're playing on.
You look at me, sir. What you doing? You don't know what you're doing.
Secret buttons. So when he opens that door and goes back into that room, we'll run past him, crouching, of course, to get to the door. There's at least one... looks like the dining room and the exhibit room are both doored. I'm guessing the exhibit room is locked. The dining room probably is not. It's been too long. Walking up and opening that door to see what he might be up to will get me seen. And I don't see any buttons on the walls here to turn off these lights. I can't blame the guard for sitting down every so often, knowing that armor's got to be rather heavy. I'm guessing that the people who want this key are the two thieves who sounded like they wanted to raid this place, giving them potentially quick access in through the entrance. I don't know if I agree with that plan of entry, but well, they're probably going to do it. Actually, they won't. If it's several days' time, news will probably go out tomorrow that Lady Harrington's was robbed. Now, he looks like he takes a while. But we can't rely on him taking the same path. We don't really care. I care, but we don't have time to read that. 357. The guard's coming. We're not going to take any of these until I've unlocked all of them. And then, when the guard enters and leaves, we'll go ahead and raid all of them. I'm assuming the guard does indeed walk in here.
Noise?
The Amulet of Dreams. 743. This must be 587. No. 589? No. 599. But we're not taking any of them until the guard leaves this place. I don't think the AI will notice any of them being missing, in case you were wondering, but I think thematically it makes sense that we would do that. The guard's not checking behind any of the exhibits. feel really bad for this particular guard, assuming he doesn't see us, because we're going to make off with all of this stuff without him ever noticing we were in here. With, of course, the exception of the moss ground there. She can keep the rest of her goods. We don't need it. Alright, viewer, we're done. I don't like being out on this ledge, it's a little too bright. In case I miss the jump to get down, or trip as I leap onto that balcony, I want to make sure that I have a softer landing. Let's wait for that guard to round that corner, and then we'll go there. We want to drop the key off at Victor's Victuals. We need to wait for this guard to now leave too, as we will make way too much noise and he will totally hear us.
That noise.
It was a really tough canvas top.
Bugger me. All worked up for nothing.
I wonder if we could take it, drop it, and get whatever money we'll earn over and over and over again. That'd be kind of funny. I don't think it works that way. I think the objective removes itself as being completed and then reassigns itself again.
Half of these new recruits were sweeping the streets a week ago.
That sigh is because that would have been a good time to go. We learned that we should go back up through this way. I'll risk it, even though he'll be right next to us.
That's
What was that?
We didn't make it up there, but we don't need whatever that place has. And in the end, we don't need to take this guy's retirement funds. We don't need to take everything from the poor store owner, or anything of that sort. We can just let them keep all of that.
Doesn't need to put in quite so much spice. The black pepper isn't cheap, you know. None of the servants will know the difference anyway.
I think he's sitting, yeah, he's sitting down. That's fine though. We're so far away he won't see us. We might get detected by the guard who patrols from... No, we won't. I hear him now. Oh, we can actually see him. Good. Then when he turns around, we can get out of this window.
It's no wonder they're always half drunk. I tell them to put a lock on the wine cellar, but did he listen? What was that?
I think he will warm himself by the fire and then come up the stairs. We drop the herbs off there. We get the payment from the bulletin board. And then we go to the west gate to get the last payment. Alright, guys, we're almost... Good evening. Very good evening, all of you. Almost done. We could be done. We can leave now, actually. But I would like that final payment for getting those drugs. There's something I didn't think I'd say in my life. Okay, guys. All done. That went very well. One reload. But otherwise, very, very well. You know, aside from failing once altogether. Money well spent, I suppose. Wonder how much it is to get into Clifton Grove through this tunnel. Let's go this way. Yeah, I can't think of any other... We did complete all our objectives, right? We did. Okay, we just had to go back, and we did not kill anyone. Very good. 2 blackjacks as well, I think. So we had a third we didn't use. I'll remember that for the future. We could have made this a little easier by knocking out one of the guards in the market, for example. Although, to be fair, the water arrows did the job there. Very good. Let's look at our statistics. 14 damage dealt. Those must have been the 2... Oh, we did blackjack that poor girl in the face. Thankfully, we didn't kill her. You kind of gotta hit him in the back of the head, not the cheek. That's really very bad. We got about half the loot, which is absolutely fine with me. Remember, in the Dark Mod, I actually don't really like taking all the loot. I feel too guilty stealing it from these poor people. Who would have guessed that the best defense against Corbin, when being played by Tim, would be a sad, sappy note, negating how rough life is, and living in some squalid, or at least not opulent, quarters. So it's, oof, really bad for some of these people. So glad we didn't have to steal more than that. 8 saves. Yep, that's about right. 3 for each episode. Not bad. 4 searches. 1 person actually saw us. Yeah, that's interesting. AI sees me, attacks if it can. Maybe the reload still counted that alert. 5. Oh, we had 4 alert 3s, too. Okay, I thought we did a lot better than we ended up doing. This would mean that someone had their sword out at alert 5. If it sees us and attacks if we can... Oh, you know what? No. The see us was the girl. The girl saw us as we whacked her in the side of the head and didn't knock her out. Okay. Well, whatever. She didn't attack us, which is good, and didn't alert anyone else, which is also great. Alright, so thank you guys for watching, and what's next on the list? It's supposed to be snowed in, if I want to do things in the exact same order, but I'm thinking we will instead do the Chronicles of Skullduggery 2 next, I think. So I'll see you guys then. Take care, everyone.